So then there's this chancellor of UC Davis, Linda Katehi, and she was hiding out for hours because of all the protesters. She wasn't leaving. And then in a brilliant display of nonviolent protest, she was allowed to leave because students said nobody's going to do anything to you. And it was almost total silence. I mean, I have the video and the audio. You won't hear much because she's just walking and nobody does anything. You would think after the UC Davis Police Department just indiscriminately pepper sprays people, people might react, but really showing the nonviolence of the protest. Look at this, Lewis. Strange, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Very compelling video. All right, and she just kept walking all the way to her car. And you know what? This has to end. I mean, you said, Lewis, that this Occupy Wall Street, we may not get to the climax until a police officer is killed. And when you see police officers doing this, whatever the context may be after the fact referred to as, I could see the possibility of a police officer being killed here. It's becoming very real.
Right.
I mean, does this guy look afraid to you, Lewis? They were acting out of fear, supposedly. Does this guy look afraid?
I'd say he's pretty calm and collected.
He's walking around pepper spraying people like he's watering a lawn. Mm-hmm. I mean, like he's watering plants inside of a house.
Right.
The police
Instead, he's
chief,
making people's eyes water.
The police chief, Annette Spikuza, has been placed on administrative leave. People are calling for the Chancellor, Linda Katehi, to actually resign. In fact, the Davis Faculty Association has called for the Chancellor's resignation. And you know what? I think she has to at least suspend herself. And I think I'm actually tempted to call the Chancellor's office and just see if we can get a hold of anybody over there.
Okay. Let's do it.
You're okay with that?
Sure.
They've publicly posted the number, so I'm just calling the public number here. Let's just call and see what happens. We'll see if we get anywhere. I'll tell them right away that we're live on the show. Let's see what happens. Here we go. See if we can get a hold of the Chancellor. You think they're busy over there?
Probably.
Should I leave a message if an answering machine comes up?
I don't think so.
I might leave one. Are they? Is the number just off the hook? Is that what they're doing?
Either that or we're one of 1,000 people calling right now.
They really have no answering machine, do they? I'm not getting... that's the only number I have. I guess they're not picking up, right?
Nope.
Okay. That's too bad. I really wanted to talk to the Chancellor. Do you think they would have put the Chancellor on with me?
I doubt it.
I had a lot of questions lined up for her.
I bet.
But I'm not going to be able to ask any of them. So, what's the bottom line here? I mean, despite all of the free speech rights that we talk about constantly, Lewis, which are guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution, the reality is that if you punish the exercise of those with these free speech rights with police force, with state violence, with indiscriminate pepper spraying, that is not really free speech. In other words, you're rendering free speech useless when you are free to speak and be pepper sprayed by this officer. And I use that term very, very loosely. That's not really free speech, is it?
Right. I mean, it's still possible that depending on where these people are assembling, that they are in some way violating the college rules.
You're saying if they're not peaceably assembling, then they're kind of waving.
No, even if it's peaceful, if they are in an area where they're causing what could be considered a disruption or they're restricting flow somehow, there could be trespassing laws being broken. And in that case, the police would be in the right to be doing this. But what I'm wondering is why bother? Why is it worth it at all?
They'd be in the right to remove people, but they wouldn't be in the right to just walk around pepper spraying like this gentleman over my shoulder is doing, would they?
They might be.
I believe that no. I believe no is the answer.